Trump versus Newsom. The legal fight over the National Guard heading to court today.
They're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
President Donald Trump abruptly ends his trip to the G7 summit to deal with the conflict between Israel and Iran.
This is just the tip of the iceberg. The tsunami is coming our way.
The big changes approved for ADUs here in San Diego.
Oh, yeah!
Patients at Rady Children's Hospital couldn't go to the fair, so the fair came to them.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
So glad you're with us. 6 a.m. on this Tuesday. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. And get ready for a hot day out there. Sunblock repeatedly throughout the day.
Water.
That's we keep telling our kids, but important for everybody. Yeah, drink that water. You're looking right now at the marine layer. Some spots this morning, it is being pushed down low enough that visibility is really low, like in Fallbrook. But also here, this is the view from Mount Soledad. It's kind of foggy out there. Here's a look at those weather headlines. Weather impact alert for today, because we are under a heat advisory. This is for inland valleys. It'll last through tomorrow night. We're well below average today and tomorrow. We will cool down by the end of the week. And now turning to our top story here, the fight over the deployment of the National Guard in Los Angeles heads back to the courtroom today.
Yeah, this comes after President Donald Trump federalized troops in response to protests over recent immigration raids. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live downtown now with the latest on this legal back and forth here. Regina?
Hey, good morning, Eric and Neda. That's right. And so far in the past couple of weeks, we've seen hundreds of National Guardsmen or at least thousands of National Guardsmen and hundreds of Marines who have remained in Los Angeles. And this all started as multiple immigration raids started to unfold in Los Angeles, and now thousands have taken part in those anti-ICE rallies. President Donald Trump had then directed his administration to deploy the National Guard and Marines to that area. But the move was blocked last week by a federal judge, and it would have given the authority back to Governor Gavin Newsom. However, an appeals court quickly reversed that decision. Now the legal battle continues between Newsom and the president. Today, a panel of judges will listen to arguments on the recent deployment. One expert says the issue could end up in the Supreme Court, and he shares a possible outcome.
The court can say courts don't get to second guess the president, which would mean that the president could do this at his discretion when he finds that conditions suggest that federalization of the National Guard is warranted.
And the high court sessions could potentially end in July. That means that we wouldn't know a decision until later this year. Eric and Neda, I'll send it back to you.
Regina, thank you. This morning, President Donald Trump is back here in the U.S. after leaving a day early from the G7 summit in Canada, citing the conflict between Israel and Iran. This morning, Israel said it has killed another top Iranian military official. Yesterday, blasts hit a building during a live broadcast on Iran state TV. Yeah, you heard that blast. The lights went out. That anchor there on state TV leaving the scene. The U.S. and Israel saying they want to stop Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. But U.S. officials tell CBS News American forces are not joining Israel's offensive, though the Pentagon has deployed more assets to the region, including another carrier strike group. The president on social media this morning said he has not reached out to Iran for peace talks. Yesterday, the president warned, quote, everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran, the capital. The U.S. State Department is warning Americans not to travel to Israel.
Major update this morning on the ADUs. City of San Diego moving forward with plans to limit accessory dwelling unit construction. Yeah, we've talked about ADUs a lot. Many of you have voiced opinions on this. CBS 8's Chris Grow live in Claremont with details on the decision after an hours-long debate. I can only imagine a lot of people showing up there, right, Chris?
Yeah, this was a marathon. And look, we heard a lot of those same opinions again being echoed and being echoed strongly and loudly here as the city council prepared to vote on this measure to limit ADUs, their construction, something that they did end up doing. But first, let's listen into more of that public comment.
It's not a matter of if the next tragedy will happen, but when. And if the council chooses not to act now, you are consciously choosing to put lives at risk when you could have done something today.
So the City Council narrowly approved the measure to cap the amount of ADUs. 5-4 was the vote. Let's go over the new limits here. According to the Union Tribune, there's a maximum of 4 ADUs on lots of less than 8,000 square feet, a max of 5 ADUs on lots of 8,001 to 10,000 square feet, and a max of 6 ADUs on lots of 10,001 square feet and larger. Critics of the previous rules believe that ADUs were going up too quickly, too many in some spaces, and too close together. Those fears were echoed last night, but the City Council members that voted in favor of this hope that they found a sweet spot. Maybe these new rules will help soothe some of those fears. The council also approved reforms that include prohibiting where ADUs can be located. They cannot be built on cul-de-sacs, in areas with high wildfire risk, and must be farther away from property lines. We did hear from those against stricter rules for the development of ADUs. Here's what they said.
Limiting housing options right now, especially ones as efficient and community-friendly as ADUs, would be a step in the wrong direction.
I don't think it's a stretch to say that if you eliminate the bonus program today or severely restrict it, you're eliminating cheaper rents from the city.
One of the other provisions that was approved yesterday is that parking is mandated for areas in which ADUs are built if they are not close to transit centers. You can read more about what's been put in place here in the city of San Diego by going to CBS8.com and clicking on that story link. Eric and Netta.
I want to get to some breaking news that we're following here. Crews responding to a brush fire in Kearny Mesa. This all started around 4:30 this morning at Convoy Street and Convoy Court. You can see just a lot of thick kind of gray smoke coming from those bushes there. Lots of fire crews on the scene, keeping an eye on this and making sure that flames don't spark up. The 7900 block of Convoy Court is blocked off right now as those fire crews are out there doing their best to tamp it down. Police say there are no evacuations. We will keep an eye on this fire in Kearny Mesa and bring you the updates right here on CBS 8. Also this morning, the Mission fire along the border of Fallbrook and Bonsall is now 100% contained. The sheriff's office has lifted all evacuation orders for this. The fire started just before 3 p.m. near State Road 76 and South Mission Road. It burned about 20 acres. Some cars on nearby property were damaged in this, but no homes or buildings were impacted. The cause of this fire under investigation. And crews also monitoring the so-called Border 6 fire. This one is primarily burning in Mexico, but it is right along the border with Campo. In its latest update at 6 p.m., CAL FIRE said this fire has burned about 200 acres. Yeah, it's heating up out there, so everyone be careful out there as it continues. The reminder that you can visit free cool zones around San Diego. There are more than 80 places where you can access air conditioning, including libraries and rec centers. The county program runs through Halloween. We have a link to the locations and times at CBS8.com. Just click on the Help button. Yeah, things heating up out there. How long is the heat going to stick around here, Netta?
Yeah, we have another day or two of this heat to deal with. If you're inland, yeah, I know summer camps are in full effect. A lot of the kids are getting hot out there. Pools, of course, will help out. Looking at the sun right now, as you see, it's coming up. This is from San Miguel, the east-facing camera. You also see the low-lying clouds out there. We do have a bit of fog to deal with this morning. So as you'll notice in Fallbrook, visibility is down to 0, 1.3-mile visibility El Cajon. So it's mainly East County where you're noticed that fog lying low. Miramar, though, visibility is dropping a bit now at 2.5. The airport seems to be okay. I know yesterday we had that ground stop at San Diego International, but today, for now, things are fine. We'll just keep an eye on it and let you know right here on CBS 8. A heat advisory will last through tomorrow at 8 p.m. So a heads up for inland valleys, all this orange from Poway to Pine Valley, as you see, the mountains and west of the mountains. You'll be dealing with this excessive heat. As early as 10 this morning, you'll probably start sweating it out a little bit. But of course, we reach the peak of the heat between about 1 and 3. So that will be our hottest time. But throughout the day, you'll want to stay cool, drink lots of water. Conditions right now, it's a nice time to get outside, walk that dog, low 60s, go for that morning jog if you can before we get really hot out there. This ridge of high pressure is the reason for the heat. As this ridge builds and builds, you see it not budging from southern Southern California. So eventually this low right here will start to dive down. It'll get there by Thursday. That's when we'll finally see that ridge moving along. That's when we'll finally get that cool down. Let's talk now about traffic and as far as what you can expect when you're headed out there this morning. I do see a crash right by the border, so this may slow you down a bit. Speeds were pretty slow on the 5. This is on the 5 southbound side, just after Dairy Mart Road. 2 lanes are blocked. Right-hand shoulder also blocked because of that crash. There's another one, it looks like on the 805. I'll look into that and let you know what's going on there in Chula Vista. And then further up north, the 8 eastbound, right at the 163 northbound, that area is all blocked due to an event. I don't see major slowing, though, because of it. As far as border wait times, yeah, we typically see slowing at the port of entry there in San Ysidro. It'll take 100 minutes to get through, 1 hour to get through Otay Mesa's port of entry.